Hello, lovely people. It has been a hot minute since I put up a video, and I am so glad to be back to YouTube. I missed it so much. It's just been a crazy couple of months, and then I kind of got out of the swing of things, and it was really hard to actually get back in and get back to filming. I'm really glad to be back at it, and I hope that you guys are glad to be back on my channel. I feel like just in the last couple of months since I haven't been on YouTube, I've changed so much. I don't know why I feel like that, but I do. I feel like I've just done a lot of changing and self-searching and self-discovery. So I think my channel might be a little bit different than it was in the beginning, but I hope that you guys still like it here. And with all that said, I'm so glad to be back. So let's just go ahead and get started. Okay, so for my first video back in what feels like forever, I figured I would share with you some of the products that I have been loving the past couple of months. Some of them are new products that I've only recently started using in the past couple months, and some are old favorites that I've brought back. So I'm going to start out with some skincare. I know this is the Nivea Essentially Enriched Body Lotion, and I know that a lot of people are talking about this lately. I've been using it for a long time, but it is absolutely amazing. If you haven't tried it, I cannot recommend it enough. In my opinion, it is the best body lotion that I've ever used. It's very affordable and it is amazing. It gives your skin this supple glow. Okay, so if I'm gonna wear something kind of revealing or off the shoulder or anything like that, after I use the lotion, I will follow it up with the Nivea Nourishing Body Oil, and I just put that on my chest and my shoulders and my arms, and it really gives you that extra glow, and it soaks into the skin really well, so it's not like greasy and slippery and too much, but it's perfect. It looks so beautiful on the skin, especially with the lotion. It's just like glowing goddess status. Okay, so as far as for my face, I've just been using the micellar water that I've talked about a million times, and then I've been following that up with this T.N. Dickinson's Witch Hazel as a toner, and I love it. I just put it on a cotton round and kind of hit my face with it after I use the micellar water, and I feel like it really gets my pores all cleaned out, but it doesn't strip my skin down, so I really like this. Then after I cleanse and tone, I've been going in with this Derma E Anti-Wrinkle. It's a treatment oil. It's got vitamin A and vitamin E, so it's going to help with scars and wrinkles and anything like that, and it really soaks into the skin really well. So I usually will put this on, especially on my problem areas like my under eyes and my smile lines and my forehead where it wrinkles, and anywhere you might have any like old acne scarring. I put it on there and I let that soak in, and I really have been liking this a lot. I highly recommend this oil. So one of my absolute favorite new products that I've been using for a while now, this is the Garnier Skin Active. This is a soothing moisturizer. It's made with rose water. It's actually a 3-in-1 moisturizer. You can use it day, night, or you can put on a thick layer and leave it on for 5 to 10 minutes and use it as a hydrating mask. It smells so good. It smells like roses, and I love roses. It's not like a old lady type of rose. It's just a really pleasant rose scent. I love how it leaves my skin feeling it's not greasy at all, so it works well under makeup. I actually use this every morning and every night. This is my day and night moisturizer now because I love it so much. And I want to say it was about $8 to $10, and this is actually a huge tub, and a little bit goes a very long way. So I've been using it for probably 2 months now, and I still have a ton left, so it's gonna last me for a long time. I highly recommend it. I absolutely love this. Okay, so I've shared before that I do get puffiness under my eyes and even my eyelids too. When I wake up in the mornings, I just have really puffy eyes. And I have been recently using this Garnier Ultra Lift Miracle Sleeping Eye Cream, and it's got caffeine, and so it's supposed to hydrate and depuff your under eyes. I put it on my eyelids too, and it really works. I it's supposed to be an overnight thing, and I do use it at night, but I also use it after I wash my face in the morning. I put it on then as well, and it really takes the puffiness down. So if you have problems with puffiness and really dry under eyes, I would highly recommend trying this. It also has hyaluronic acid. I almost forgot to say that, which is super important if you have dry under eyes. This is probably maybe one of the best eye creams that I have ever used, and I will absolutely be continuing to use this. I'm going to be buying some backups very soon because I'm starting to get low, and I think it is perfection. Okay, so moving on to face makeup, I have been using kind of a primer combination lately, and neither one of them are new. Well, the Becca one is kind of new, but the L'Oreal Magic Lumi is definitely not new. It's an old faithful. It is awesome. It's stood the test of time. I really feel like it actually kind of gives my face some more hydration, plus it just gives you this glow like nobody's business. You're like the Tin Man, and I love that. I'm here for it. So I use this one all over my face. And then I will go in with the Becca Velvet Blurring Primer, and I will use that in kind of my T-zone in the areas that I might have scarring or large pores. This stuff is kind of crazy to me because it's really thin in consistency, but it seems to still kind of fill in your pores and just give your face that porcelain look, even though it's really thin. So that's surprising, and I really like it. And these two together, like for me having kind of normal to dry skin, I need hydration and I want the glow, but I also don't want my pores to look big. So the two of these put together is like amazing. Okay, so if you've been around my channel before, you know that my Holy Grail foundations, my Dior Forever and my Hourglass Vanish Stick, they will always be my go-tos. I love these two foundations. I think they're amazing. They both have great shade ranges. I can't recommend either of them enough. However, I have been trying out some new foundations. I feel like I'm always trying out new foundations. That's probably the thing that I buy the most, is just because I just want to know what every foundation out there is like. So in the process of trying out new foundations, like I always am, I have found two recently that I really like a lot. And the first one is the CoverGirl Vitalist Healthy Elixir Foundation. I really like this one a lot. It has a really natural finish, which is good for me when my skin's a little bit more dry. I like the coverage it has, and it just looks really good on the skin. I don't feel like they have the best shade range, which is like, you guys know if you've been here before, that's one of my biggest pet peeves, is when there's not a diverse shade range. So I'm not thrilled about that with this foundation. Otherwise it would be so great and I could recommend it to everyone, but okay. And then the other foundation that I've tried out recently that I really like, it's probably my favorite of any of the ones that I've tried out recently. I really love it, and it is the e.l.f. Flawless Finish Foundation. This stuff is so good, but like so many other foundations, unfortunately, it has a terrible shade range, and e.l.f. is bad about that. They do not come out with a lot of shades, which is not cool to me. However, the thing about e.l.f. and their very limited shade range is that they literally have like 4 different shades, but they're not all just super light shades. It's not like 4 shades of porcelain. So I guess that makes it a little bit less offensive to me, the fact that they only have 4 shades, but they're kind of scattered throughout the spectrum of shades. But anyways, if you can find your shade in this foundation, I so highly recommend it. I think it is amazing. I don't know how well it will work for oily skin because I don't have oily skin, but I know for my dry skin, it's definitely not a dewy foundation, but it does have enough moisture that it doesn't dry me out, but yet it also makes my face look very smooth and poreless. So I recommend trying it. It's so affordable. It's like $6, and it's probably one of the best drugstore foundations I've ever used. So if you can find your shade, I recommend trying it out. As I said, I do have normal to dry and the beginning stages of maturing skin. I mean, I'm 31, so my skin is starting to mature, whether I want to admit it or not. So I am not one of those people that can bake my face. I do have to be very careful about what powders I use and the amount of powders I use. But I recently tried out this Milani Prep Set and Glow powder, and it is amazing. I use it to set my whole entire face. I use a smaller brush to set my under eye concealer, and then I use a big fluffy brush to set the rest of my face with it. And I thought it was going to be kind of one of those powders that was really reflective and kind of, you could build it up to almost be like a highlighter, but that's not really the case. It's more so like the Hourglass kind of ambient light powders, but a little bit less reflective than that. It's just such a nice powder. It doesn't give you that crepey, powdery look if you have drier skin. It just sets your makeup and it almost looks like you don't have powder on at all, but it gives your skin this beautiful, lifelike glow. So if you're like me and you're not a baker and you just want a nice, natural way to set down your makeup and lock it in, you need to try this. Like, this is my new go-to powder. I don't use anything else. It even actually beats out my Charlotte Tilbury powder, so that means it's pretty good. And it's Milani, so it's affordable, so you need this. Okay, so sticking with the affordable theme, I've been trying out a lot of drugstore products lately, and this is one of e.l.f.'s newer highlighters. This is the Shimmer Highlighting Powder in the shade Starlight Glow. It looks like this. I dropped it and it kind of broke a little bit on the top, but it's actually, I was really surprised. I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but it's really, really pretty. I really love the undertone of it. It's what I'm wearing today, and for like $6, you cannot beat this. So I recommend trying these out. Okay, so on the other end of the spectrum from that, I know I've talked about this before, but this is the Burberry Fresh Glow highlighter. This is in the shade Rose Gold number 4, and I just have to talk about it again because it is my absolute favorite highlighter of life. It is so gorgeous. I know that it is crazy expensive, like 70 bucks is way too much to spend on a highlighter, but I'm telling you that if you use this, it is life-changing. I have to force myself to use any other highlighter every single day because this one is so good. The way it sits on your skin is just incredible. So if you get a chance, or if you want to splurge, or if you get like a Sephora gift card, try this out because you will be hooked. I promise. Okay, so moving on to bronzers. Lately, I have been back on the bandwagon of the Chocolate Soleil bronzer from Too Faced. It just blends onto the skin so nicely. I love the color of it. I mean, you know, it blends out like a dream. It's a cult favorite for a reason. It's just great. So on the topic of bronzers, I have to throw this in here. This is the Lisa Frank and Glamour Doll collaboration bronzer that I got in my Ipsy bag, and I was so excited. I have always, my entire life, been obsessed with Lisa Frank, and I'm a bronzer junkie, so I was just like, okay, somebody made this specifically for me. I know it. I feel like it's a really, really good shade of bronzer because if you are very fair, you could even probably still use this and just go really light-handed, or if you are a little bit deeper, you could build it up. It's a good shade. It's got a good undertone. I think it blends out really nicely. It's actually a really great bronzer, and it's Lisa Frank, so win-win. I'm obsessed. Okay, so I'm going to talk about eyeshadows. However, this is one of the Maybelline single eyeshadows, and this one is a gorgeous eyeshadow, but it's also gorgeous as a highlighter. I've been using it as a highlighter lately. This shade is the Glow Down. It is beautiful and blinding on the eyes or the cheeks or the nose or wherever you want to put it. It is gorgeous. I really recommend this because they're only a couple dollars, and it is so versatile. It looks beautiful on the lid, it looks beautiful on the inner corner, it looks beautiful on the cheekbones, so I think you're definitely getting your money's worth out of this one. This, like I said, it's the shade the Glow Down, and you need it. Another Maybelline single eyeshadow that I'm in love with is the shade Khaki Camo. I just think it's the most beautiful, like, army green. It's got a sheen to it, so it's almost like duochrome. Like sometimes it looks kind of taupey, it looks kind of brown, and then olive green, army green, and I'm obsessed with olive green and army green. Like, that is just my jam right now, and I just think that this is a beautiful shadow. So if you are in the drugstore, check out Khaki Camo from Maybelline. I think it is gorgeous. Like, gorgeous. Okay, and on the topic of eyeshadows, this is my new favorite palette. This is the Morphe 3502. You guys know I love warm shadows, and hello. I used these 4 colors right here and did a hot Cheeto look a while back, and it was so cool. This shade right here, I lost the little sheet that goes in it, so I don't know the names of any of them, but this shade right here is beautiful. Like, it is the most gorgeous, like, ugh, it's so pretty. And then this one too is like, this one's really like a unique shade. I feel like I really love it. I think it's a gorgeous palette. The formula is so good. I feel like this one is so much more like the Jaclyn Hill palette than any of their other previous palettes. Whether or not you have the original 35.0, I recommend this one 100 times over that one. So you need it. Okay, this is super random, but I wanted to share my favorite foundation brush with you guys. I don't know if I've ever talked about this brush before or not, so I'm going to talk about it now. This is the Sephora Pro. This is the Multitasker Complexion Brush number 45. It's just their multitasker. If you go to Sephora on the wall, get the multitasker. It is the best foundation brush. And I love it because it is small, so it's so easy to really work it into all the places, and it's super soft. It's just the best. I love it. I want to talk about the concealer I've been using this month, and it is the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Concealer. I don't know why, because I've had like 3 different shades of this just sitting around for months and months and months, but I only just recently started using it, probably the last like month, and it is so good. Like, why don't people talk about this more? Like, I swear I never hear anyone talk about this, but it is so good. I use it to prime my eyes. It's kind of replaced my Shape Tape, to be honest, and I like it because it's not quite as drying on my skin as Shape Tape, but I feel like it has really good coverage at the same time. So I don't know why people don't talk about this more often. It's literally like $3 and it is incredible. Really quickly, I want to just give a shout out to the Urban Decay Heavy Metal liners. This one is my absolute favorite. It is Midnight Cowboy. I love it because it has some silver and some gold in it, so it makes it so beautiful, and it goes with so many different looks. And I just think these are so good. Like, these are the OG, and I still love them. I think they're amazing. Okay, I want to talk about a couple of drugstore hair products that I've been loving recently. The first one that is a must-have, this is the Tresemme Heat Tamer leave-in, spray-in, heat protectant. Let me tell you, if you heat style your hair and you don't use a heat protectant, like, you're doing it wrong. Trust me, I heat styled my hair for so long without using a heat protectant, and it just changes the game. It makes your hair look so much better. It keeps it so much healthier. It just looks better. It doesn't look fried at the end. It just looks good and healthy, and it's only a couple bucks, and it's so worth it. However, I will say, do not get too much, because one spray too many can make your hair look like a grease ball that needs to be washed. So make sure you just do a really light mist. Like, I kind of hold my hair out and just, and that's it, and that's no more. That's it. The other hair product from the drugstore that I've really been enjoying a lot lately is the L'Oreal Boost It High Lift Creation Spray. It's like a, well, it says that it's a back combing finisher spray, but it also has a heat protectant to it, which I think is really cool. So it's kind of like a hairspray, it's kind of like a root booster, it's kind of like a texturizing spray, it's kind of like a heat protectant all in one, and so I just think it's really great. I usually wash my hair, let it air dry, and then I'll use the heat protectant, style it, and then once I'm done styling it, I'll just go in and give it a light mist with this stuff. And then if you want more volume, you can just kind of lift it up and spray it towards the roots, and let me tell you, you get some volume, okay? Somehow I got way off track talking about the hair stuff while I was still talking about makeup. So one of the products that I've really been enjoying lately that I've always liked, but I guess I just never gave it the appreciation that it deserves, but lately I've been using them a lot and I really love them. and they are the Wet n Wild Liquid Catsuit lipsticks, and I just think that they're amazing. Like, they're so affordable, and I know last time I was at Walgreens they were on sale 3 for $10. Like, you cannot beat that. My favorite shade recently has been the shade Missy and Fierce, and it's just like the most beautiful blue toned red that looks good on everyone. It makes your teeth look whiter. It's just a beautiful, true blue toned red that you cannot go wrong with. It's perfect for the holidays, and I think the formula is great. The colors are gorgeous. Like, the price is right. They feel comfortable. They last for a long time. What more could you want out of a lipstick? Okay, so those are all of the products that I have been loving the past couple months that I have been absent from YouTube. Thank you for watching the video. I'm so glad to be back, and I hope that you enjoyed it. If you did like the video, please give it a thumbs up so that I know that you liked it, and then I can make more like this. Also, leave me some comments down below and let me know what your favorite products have been lately. Also, let me know if you have any video requests of anything that you would like to see. Maybe any techniques that you might want to learn more about or need a little bit of help with that I can make for you. And aside from that, thank you so much for being here. I will be back very soon, so make sure you're subscribed, hit that little notification bell, and I will see you guys soon. Bye!